Ladies and gentlemen, hey, hi, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. Obviously, right now we are in the middle of Operation Monarch, aka Godzilla and Kong here in Warzone. However, at the end of Operation Monarch on the 25th, we should be sort of leaning right into the mid-season update or Season 3 Reloaded, which of course is going to be a massive update in and of itself. And even now, still a few days out from the update actually taking place, we've got a ton of confirmed changes and updates already out there. So today we're going over everything you need to know about Season 3 Reloaded. As we break it all down, if you enjoy the video at any point, let me know by dropping a like on it. Would be seriously appreciated. And if you're new here or if you have not already subscribed, every day I got you covered with all things going on in COD, so feel free to hit that sub button and turn on those post notifications. So first things first, when it comes to the mid-season update, we know Operation Monarch is ending on the 25th. That's a Wednesday, and oftentimes that's when these large title updates, the seasonal launches, and the mid-season updates actually end up going live. So it's very possible we could see Season 3 Reloaded drop right at the very end of Operation Monarch, or it could be dropping on the 26th. Either way, the end of May, that final week of May, does seem to be the prime target for Season 3 Reloaded. So that's when we can expect most of these updates to come to the game. As far as the initial content confirmations go, a lot of this is pretty basic just off of the roadmap. We also have some more in-depth content and changes confirmed that we'll obviously get to later on in the video. But first up, we do have our third ranged weapon dropping for Season 3, known as the H4 Blixen. This is going to be a brand new SMG. As of right now, we don't really know much about this weapon outside of what they detailed about it in the initial Season 3 reveal blog post. They say little is known of this blowback SMG, except that it seems to use a 9x19mm cartridge and shares some design techniques with the Sten and the PPSH. But because classified arms were only recently discovered, expect intel on this new weapon closer to when it drops during the mid-season update. For now, know that you can unlock the H4 Blixen in one of two ways: through an SMG-based challenge or via a store bundle to be released later on this season, which features a blueprint from this weapon's family. So usual mid-season update new weapon launch, you'll be able to unlock it for free via a challenge. It'll be something like using an SMG, get 15 jump shot kills or 15 close range kills in in 15 different matches or whatever the case is. Or there'll be the store bundle that you can just buy right away to get it unlocked and not customize the attachments for it in Warzone. But outside of that, I mean, that little description doesn't really give us much information at all, but we do know for sure a new SMG, the H4 Blixen, is coming with Season 3 Reloaded. Now, the roadmap also reveals that we're going to be getting the Junkyard Jet melee weapon at some point in season. This is likely one that'll drop sometime just after Season 3 Reloaded, probably not right at the launch of the update, but this is just like your standard melee weapon, nothing too crazy going on with that. We also know we have the Kim Tae-young operator coming as well. That'll be our third and final operator for Season 3. And then for Vanguard multiplayer, we also have a new map coming at some point in season, I would imagine with the Season 3 Reloaded update, known as Sphere. We don't really get much information on it outside of just the name there and the little preview image you can see on the roadmap itself. Now, moving on to some of the less obvious content and change confirmations that we have for Season 3 Reloaded. We've talked about this one a handful of times in the past because it's been something that the devs have sort of been previewing for quite some time now, and that is audio improvements, major audio improvements to locational audio. So things like footstep audio is going to be getting a massive upgrade with Season 3 Reloaded. Initially, the devs were aiming for Season 3, as we talked about prior to Season 3 dropping. In a call with Raven, they basically said, yeah, we've done some small updates to it, but the major one is planned for the Reloaded update mid-season. So that's when we should get some very, very noticeable changes to actually being able to hear audio in game, being able to tell clearly an enemy is to my left in a hallway, clearly an enemy is to my right running through a bush. Vertical audio is always very tricky. Even in other games, it's not always perfect, so it'll be very curious to see if they do find a way to have really good vertical audio. You'll be able to tell if a player, if an enemy is 2 floors above you, maybe a floor below you, stuff like that. Either way, I'm all in on audio improvements because let's be real, the footstep audio is pretty rough. Alongside that, Raven did also reveal that they are working on the whole camera lock fix, basically for when you're sliding on all those slanted surfaces. That's some alliteration for you, sliding on slanted surfaces. That's obviously a huge issue for all players, keyboard, mouse, or controller, where you go to slide and if you're by a ledge or if you're on one of those sloped surfaces, your camera gets locked, you can't look down, it can cause you to get killed. Super annoying bug. That should also be fixed here in Season 3 too. Another change that'll be happening during Season 3 Reloaded, either right at launch or shortly thereafter, is the addition of high-value loot zones all across Warzone. This was actually something we first saw implemented in the Operation Monarch LTM, where you'll jump into a match and you'll notice that Peak might have that bright orange text over it, or it could be docks, it could be resort, any POI, and that location will have better tier loot. It'll also have the different resurgence chests so they continue to restock and replenish over time. Really cool idea to, you know, promote landing at different places in certain scenarios, so that'll be fully rolled out with Season 3 Reloaded. Then a pretty big surprise update that we really have no information on, but we know it's coming, is a supposed fast travel system of some kind. In my call with Raven prior to Season 3, they very subtly and very briefly mentioned that in Season 3 Reloaded, they're adding in a new fast travel system. That is quite literally all they said about it though, so we have no clue what this is going to be. I imagine it's probably going to be lore based, like the red doors, for instance. I'm not quite sure what exactly could be used to sort of fit the storyline this time around. Maybe it's something with Nebula, maybe it's something that is an effect of Kong and Godzilla being on the island. Who knows, but apparently a fast travel system for Caldera is coming our way at some point during Season 3. I imagine we'll get a lot more information on this in the coming days leading up to the launch of the season, because that's a pretty big update that does not have pretty much any information about it thus far. The devs did also confirm that we are getting at least one perk update with Season 3 Reloaded, and that's going to be the addition of the Serpentine perk, which we currently have over in Vanguard. This essentially makes it so that if you're running the Serpentine perk, when you're actually sprinting in game, you take less damage. Now, if you're just walking, your damage is going to be normal, but if you are actually sprinting around, bullets will do less damage to you. Obviously, it would be a pretty big deal. It's going to affect TTKs on a lot of weapons. I don't think it's as big of a deal as a lot of players have made it so far. If they're putting it in a very competitive category, like even Perk 1, for instance, Cold-Blooded, EOD, Double Time, all very competitive ones. I'm not sure if I'd ever drop one of those for that personally, but Serpentine is going to be added into the game and will definitely make an impact on some gunfights. I also imagine that we'll probably see some other perk updates happen around that same time, just because back when they made the big perk update a little while back in late Season 2, they said this is just a glimpse of what will be changing in Season 3, indicating there would be more perk adjustments, buffs, and nerfs to various perks coming in Season 3. And then we didn't see that happen. We got lootable perks, but it didn't seem like that was what they were sort of hinting at in that blog post. So I'd imagine we'll see some more tuning made and adjustments made to some of the perks that are already in the game with Season 3 Reloaded as well. Speaking of tuning, pretty much every single major update these days includes plenty of weapon tuning, and I would expect to see more of the same here in Season 3 Reloaded. We will break down what I anticipate to be the next meta update at some point in between now and the launch of Season 3 Reloaded, breaking down what guns I imagine will probably be nerfed, things like the STG, maybe because the blueprints won't be the hot sale item anymore, stuff like that, but there will definitely be weapon tuning. They really haven't previewed any of that thus far though. Also, outside of that, we know there's going to be plenty of actual gameplay updates, fixes for bugs and glitches and all sorts of stuff like that. That's pretty standard for these major updates as well. For that, we can anticipate anything that's on the Trello board at the time to be fixed. Right now, there's not a ton going on there. We could see some more updates in the coming days, though, prior to Season 3 Reloaded. And also, usually they include a lot more gameplay fixes than just what's on the Trello, so we can expect more of that as well. No specifics as of now, though. So yeah, with all that being said, that is effectively everything we know is confirmed for the Season 3 Reloaded update here in Warzone, and a little bit of Vanguard as well. That's gonna wrap things up. If you enjoyed the video, let me know by dropping a like on it, would be seriously appreciated. And of course, if you're new here or if you have not already subscribed, every day I got you covered with all things going on in COD, so feel free to hit that sub button and turn on those post notifications. That way you can always guarantee you are up to date. And also, if you want to check out any of my partners, be sure to use code IMMORTAL for a discount on all Scuff, G Fuel, Gamer Advantage, and Control Freak products. The links for all those can be found down in the description below. But once again, thank you so much for tuning in, and until next time, take it easy, have an awesome rest of your day, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace out.